Hi, everybody. It is Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in. Come on in, sellers. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know that you can hear me. So say hello. Let me know where you are. Let me know how your weather is. I'm here in New York City. It was a little chilly today, but we're getting warmer. And I'm always grateful if it's not snowing. So we're doing very, very well. So come on in. Come on in. It's great to see everybody. And what I want to talk about tonight, hey, Connie. Hi, Brenda. How are you? Good to see everybody. Hi, Connie. Oh, Cindy. Good, good, good. Good to see everybody. Hey, April. You can hear me? You're in Texas? Okay, great. Thank you. Hi, Virginia. Hi, Cindy. Hi, April. Good, good, good. So let's get going, everybody. So what I was talking about is, what is working to get sales now? Because oftentimes, this things go in trends, and things can work a couple of years ago, but they don't work now. I was actually helping a seller in a private consultation the other day, and they were using some practices that were very effective a couple of years ago. They're not such a great idea anymore. So part of these broadcasts is about keeping you current on business practices that work very, very well. There's a lot of fantastic sellers that are thrifters and flippers, and they do a lot about, sourcing from different thrift stores and consignment stores. And I'll certainly give you tips, as I come across things that I think are good at picking up. But I've said it before, which is when you do find something that's really a hot item or something that's doing really, really well for you, I encourage you not to share it with the world. Keep that one close for yourself, because that's going to make you some nice money. The problem with sharing things, particularly if they're not that hard to find, like, if you can get them in a Target or a Walmart, or if they're pretty much in abundance, let's say at thrift stores, is then all of a sudden everybody runs out and buys it. So then you have 200, 300, maybe 400 people buying it. And guess what happens to the prices? They're going to go down. So when you find something that's really, really a good deal for you and something that you can get and get more than one of, go for it. Maybe share with your best friends, but you don't want to share it with the whole world. Comment FAST, F-A-S-T, and I'm going to share you some great tips for sales on eBay and some social media tips, which is what I want to talk about tonight. So first off, what I do want to say is your mindset is really, really, really important. I really look at my eBay selling career, and I've been selling for over 10 years. And one thing that really flipped the switch for me, so from when I went from really being a casual seller and decluttering my home, and then becoming a professional seller and buying things to resell, and then really ramping up my sales. And I'm actually in the process of really ramping up my business right now. But a really important mindset. And when I look at very successful sellers, and by very successful, it could be people that are making 20, 30,000 a year. This is not necessarily about people that are doing six figures or more, but the people that I see that are really very successful in that they're making a profit, they're buying things and selling things, their inventory is moving well, they have good customer service, they have good work-life balance, as far as, they're taking time with friends and family and every activities they like. It's a business, and it can be a hard thing to keep in mind because it's something that we love, and also it's personal because it's our business. So when a customer is unhappy, or when you buy something and then the price just tanks, which can happen, I think any of us that are selling more for in a couple of years, we're going to run into that, and you might even invest a decent amount of money in inventory, $200 to $300 or more. And all of a sudden, just the bottom falls out of it because other people get in, or just because it's not desirable anymore. And you're stuck. It's like, oh dear, what do I do? And you do figure it out. You drop the price, you put it into lots. I mean, there's a bunch of different things you can do if your inventory, if one category just really is bottoming out. And this can happen. I bring this up because I do see in groups sometimes people mentioning certain things they're selling just aren't selling anymore. And I totally understand that frustration because I've been through it several times, in fact, more than several times with different stocks of inventory. And the truth is you need to sit down and do your research. If a certain thing, I've got my iPad here. So all of a sudden, let's say you've been selling red iPad covers, or it could be a style of sweater or jeans or a certain brand, and it's just not moving, is you got to immediately sit down and do some research. And you're going to, besides doing eBay advanced search, and I have a YouTube on how to do that, it can be worth it to pick up a tool like Terapeak, because you sort of want to look at the long term, like what have the prices been doing for the past 6 months, 9 months, maybe even a year, because you got to look at, is this just a momentary trend where all of a sudden it's sort of I'm going through a slow pocket, or really has this category died? And if it has, then you've got some choices to make. But the first thing is, and it's hard, because it's money and we've got bills, but you've got to do the research and you've got to figure out whether it's a momentary trend or not. All the professional sellers that I know, particularly the large sellers, they are always watching their numbers. They are always watching what sells. They're also watching what not sells. And they're very, if it's not selling, you drop the price, you run auctions, you put it in lots. And I know we're primarily eBay sellers here, but it might be that you need to put it on another site too. It might do better on a Poshmark. It might do better in Facebook groups. It might do better just putting it in a yard sale. And you've got to be brutal about this, because when you have inventory, look at my inventory, it's cash. It's cash sitting on your shelf, and it needs to move in a certain amount of time for you to pay your bills. Now, if you're a collectible seller, and I do sell some collectibles just take longer, and you got to be patient. If you're not a patient person, don't sell collectibles. I mean, they can take 1.5 years, 2 years, 2.5 years to find the right seller. So you got to watch how much money is tied up in collectibles. If that's really what you want to sell, that's great. Then just have a nice variety, because something will always be selling. But with collectibles, you really don't know what. It is nice, though, because I want to date this. This is the beginning of April. Collectibles often do very nicely around Mother's Day, Father's Day, because we have that coming up besides Christmas time. So just sort of know generally what the sell-through rate is for your items. Collectibles tend to be a little slower unless they're very hot for a reason. Clothing really should sell through in 6 months and under. Again, unless it's a very unique vintage item, you've done your research, you know what it's worth, and you're willing to sit and wait. You really want to look at selling it 6 months and under. I've got one friend that does a lot of closeouts, almost like a job lot kind of seller. He looks for stuff to sell in 30 days. Now, this is a very large multi-channel seller. So again, know your inventory, know what you're selling, look at your sell-through rate, know how much money you've got tied up, and watch your numbers. And you've got to get the emotion out. It's so hard, because it could be something that you really love, and it's something that you really know it's worth, $100, but it doesn't sell for $100. This can be really difficult. It sells for $20. Actually, I was helping somebody with this, and they're like, "Oh, but I bought it new for $300." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it doesn't sell for that. What it sells for, this is going to be a hard one, it sells for like $30, $40 used. That's what it sells for. And you got to be okay about that, okay? But definitely look, if you've got certain things and they've been hanging on, take a look at whether it's worth doing a Poshmark, whether it's worth jumping into some local buy and sell groups, whether it's worth it to do a yard sale. It's getting warmer now, teaming up with some neighbors and doing a yard sale. Because we're in business, and when you're in business, you've got to move your inventory. So whatever it takes to get it sold, and you're definitely making a profit, that's what you got to do. Comment FAST, F-A-S-T, and I'm going to send you sales and social media tips. So keep an eye on your inventory. Keep an eye on what's selling. If something is selling, yay, can you get more or more similar to that? And get out of, think outside of the box. If you always go to a certain kind of store, maybe another kind of store or another source will have this item, and go, where can I get this? And, brainstorm with a seller friend, or, Google it on the internet, see if you can find it other places. If you're very used to thrift and consignment, that's great. But, you know, are there other stores that you can use to get inventory? If you're really used to outlets, are there other stores that you can use to get inventory? You got to constantly be thinking, you know, where can I get inventory? Then when you get that hot item, push it, push it, push it. And let's say the red covers are hot and you can get more of them. Well, then try the purple, try the blue. Is there something I can go with it? Maybe a pretty carrying bag. Always think about, you know, what can I add to my assortment that's related to what is selling and what is hot. Now, to get your items sold, definitely, you know, you're going to write an optimized listing, and you're going to be listing regularly because that helps the search engines find you. The other thing you want to be doing is social media. And the reason for doing social media is it helps to push your products out. It also helps you to be discovered by shoppers. Social media works whether you have an eBay store or you don't have an eBay store. It can be super helpful though for a store just because you have a name, you know, like Kathy's eBay store, you know, Betty's eBay store. It helps you with what is called branding, that you're recognized, that they see you. Because sometimes, especially if you're selling some higher end things, shoppers are going to Google you. They're going to go, who is she? And they'll see, oh, she's got a Facebook business page. Oh, she's got a Twitter account. It builds confidence in you as a seller that you're professional. Now, if you're a very casual seller, that's great. So you're going to do great listings, but a little bit of social media is going to help you, because what it helps is for more customers to find you, okay? This does not need to take up a lot of time. Obviously, bigger sellers, more professional sellers, they might even have somebody that they've hired to do their social media. More intermediate and advanced social media will be using schedulers. I have a social media insiders group, a membership group, and I work a lot with my members to show them how to use schedulers. So it's a super time saver. So you can crank out a lot of social media in 10 or 15 minutes. But that's what I want to encourage you is, you know, be listing, keep an eye on what's selling, and whatever is selling, sorry, my nose is really itchy today. Whatever's really selling, try to get more and things that are related. If it is not selling, do research and just see if it's just a bump you're going through. But if it's been sitting there for 6 or 8 months, you've really got to do some heavy looking and see like, okay, I need to like really drop the price. I need to run some bundles. I need to maybe look at putting it on some other sites. You've got to move the product. Is lovely sitting on the shelves, but that's cash. That's cash looking at me sitting on the shelf. And you want that sold and cash in your wallet. Okay? So that's why you're going to be doing the social media. You know, 1 or 2 posts on a Facebook business page. And Facebook business pages are free. And you're just going to comment fast, FAST, and get some tips to help you with sales and social media. I've really been having fun with Twitter. Here I go with my itchy nose again. And I'll tell you why. Because Twitter is super fast. If you're on eBay, you can just click a sharing button. It's the same thing with Etsy, and it goes right out. Twitter, if you're an eBay store owner, is super for sales because Twitter is very fast, very immediate. Facebook is a little slower, and Facebook controls your feed more. Twitter, it goes out to more of your followers without you having to pay to boost. So that's a very nice function of Twitter. And Twitter's fast. I mean, you can click and push an item out on Twitter in seconds, which I really, really, really like. If you've got new inventory, so you just got, you know, the cell phone cover book, cell phone cover in, and you want to let people know, bam, you just click that little Twitter bird on your listing and bam, it goes out. So comment fast, FAST, and you're going to get some more sales and social media tips. But really challenge yourself and I know some days can just be rough. We all go through them. You know, you have a day that's just slow, or you have a day where all of a sudden it seems like everything you sold in the past 2 days is coming back as a return. You're like, no, no, no. And then you'll just have a glorious day. I had a glorious day today. Like, stuff was just flying off the shelf. I'm like, yay. And I mean, even some stuff that's been listed for quite some time. And that's why I brought that up. A couple of collectible items and a Christmas item sold. So yes, Christmas sells in April. Christmas sells year round. And it was something that I listed right after the holidays because I know that Christmas sells year round. And I said, you know what? Someone will buy this, and sure as heck they did. So it's been in my store for about 3.5 months, and it just sold. So that was great, great news. So keep an eye on what is selling. If it's not selling, you know, I see people jumping in groups and saying things. I get it. I feel the pain. I understand it. But if your inventory is not selling, now if it's just a week or two, definitely go check prices. Just double check your keywords and your item specifics. You know, if you have a store, there are things you can do to drive traffic. Okay. But if it is several months, okay, like if you've been dead for a couple of months, it is time to just go, you know, grab your water and sit down and hit advanced search. And if you don't have Terapeak, grab a free trial and do some heavy duty research and make that tough decision. Okay, am I going to have to really drop my prices? Am I going to be doing some bundles? Do I need to explore selling on some other sites? Because I sell on Etsy. You know, things sell on Etsy that don't sell on eBay. I don't figure it out. I'm just glad to get the sales on Etsy. So, you know, sometimes put some stuff on some other sites and see if it's going to sell there. Just like there's other things that are listed on Etsy and they fly out the door on eBay. So, you know, keep that going and see what works for you. Don't forget about a Facebook business page. It's free. And try Twitter. I'm like, Twitter's free. Set it up. You just click the icon, boom, your products go out, and comment fast to get some more tips. I'm going to see how everybody's doing. Fast. Hey, great. You guys good? Any questions? See if I've got everybody's good. You're so right. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you so much. It can be hard, and especially I will see in groups, you know, people say, you know, my sales are slow. Is anybody else slow? I get it. You want to know whether you're alone or not, but what happens with something like that is the people that are slow all jump on and go, yes, I'm slow, I'm slow, I'm slow. You know, and it's good to get those feelings out. You know, I'm frustrated, I'm listing, I'm doing what I know to do, and it's slow. So if it is, because let me tell you, eBay is selling something every second, every nanosecond of every minute of every day. Something is selling. So my goal as a seller is to find things that are selling and to get them and to sell them, right? So if I've got a bunch of inventory that is not selling, it's not helping me because eBay, in case you don't know, the three pillars of eBay search are trust, and that's your rating, top rated seller, your good customer service, relevancy, and part of relevancy is that you are selling, and value, which is that, you know, you're good value, you take care of your customers. But relevancy is huge for showing up in search. So if you're going on for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks with no sales, it hurts because then your items lose their oomph in search. You got to keep listing, you know, optimizing your titles. But you've got to take a look at, do I need to put this into a bundle? My Christmas thing that just sold was a bundle. I did not sell them singly. I put them in a bundle. They were lightweight items so I could do well, okay? And that just sold. Yay. And I make more money that way because it is a lightweight item. So look at things. Can you do a bundle? You know, especially if you got them for a low cost, you can do a bundle, give the buyer a good deal. You're still doing good because of the, you know, you're either keeping it under 16 ounces, or if it's over 16 ounces, you know that you can get it into a padded envelope, padded flat rate envelope. You can get it into a medium flat rate box and save yourself money that way and still give the customer a great deal, and you still make money. Again, how long are you holding on to your inventory? What can you do to get it out the door? You know, if dropping a price $1 or $2 is going to do it, it's worth it. Get it sold. Get the money so you can go buy more inventory, pay bills, tweet it out on Twitter. It takes 3 seconds. Grab my tips with FAST, F-A-S-T, so you can think of some other things that can help push your products out and get it sold, because that's really what it's all about. Why do you think brick and mortar runs sales? Why do they have people standing out in front of the stores, handing out little samples and things? It's to get people in so that they will shop with them. They want to be relevant. They want to attract shoppers. eBay does a lot of things to attract shoppers. They're buying Google AdWords. When you're on the landing page, it's saying, you know, take a look at this category and that category. So eBay is very, very busy getting us buyers. Those big ad campaigns they ran at the holidays. Then it's up to me to get them to my listings and get my stuff sold. Let's see how everybody's doing. Good, 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 good. Hey, Canada. Yay, Carrie. Yes. Hi, Margot. How is everybody? Thank you, April. I'm glad you can hear me. Okay, good, everybody. So now listen, even if you're new and thinking that you're a business, again, it's not about dollar volume. You can think very business-like thoughts and be a casual seller, okay? You can think very business-like thoughts and you're only making $50, $100 a week on eBay. And you can think, you know, and you can take it very personally and be making, you know, several $1,000s on eBay. It's about think like a business, keep track of what's selling. How can you get more of what's selling or things related to what's selling, okay? If it's not selling, is it just a momentary bump or is this a big trend and I need to really seriously take a look at this? Because your goal is that constant cash flow. You want to keep stuff moving. In your mind, think this category, and if you're new, it's a little harder. But really, with clothing, you want to see it move in 6 months. On a collectible, absolutely a year, year and a half, 2 years can be quite normal. If you're not okay about holding on to inventory that long, then you're going to want to look for a mix. You know, look for video games, look for CDs, look for DVDs, look for home decor. We're going into spring, summer gardening. I mean, there's such an abundance. Go on Facebook, go on Twitter. What is everybody talking about? Are they talking about shopping for certain things? Are they talking about buying certain things? A favorite show? You know, what can you get that's related to that you can then sell to people and bring money in and be making a nice profit? Okay, great, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling. Bye-bye.